Good people, how are you? Welcome back to Joy Connections and talking about cancer. I'm gonna answer 3 questions today because the answers are very short, and so I don't want this video to be a little real. I want my videos to be around the same length regarding this journey I'm on. Now I'm gonna answer 3 questions, and these questions were not on the list that I mentioned before. These are questions that have been asked in the last 2 days, and I've reflected on them. One of them is actually 2 of them are kind of connected, and I'm finding them really assuring and comforting. And I think they're questions that are really asked, and if they're asked, they're really asked in all their innocence and purity. So one of them is, what can I do to help? The second one is, how can I pray for you? Or what would you like me to pray about for you? Guys, maybe it's just me, but I've never really been asked this question, these 2 questions before. And what I find reassuring about them is that the person that's asking these questions is showing that they actually want to help me according to what I see as needing help with. As human beings, we find it very easy to assume we know what help somebody needs. And it's because we use logic most of the times to decide what we think a person needs help with. But one thing I've learned in my experience since getting a diagnosis is that sometimes our needs are not logical. Sometimes our needs are not in response to situations. Sometimes our needs are in our reaction mode. And a lot of times, I'm sure you've heard people talk about this, a lot of times when you react, you don't take time to think about what you're reacting to. But when you respond, you take time, you hear what is being said, you consider what is being said, and then you also hear yourself and consider your feelings about it. And then you think about how you are going to respond to whatever has been said or done so that the outcome is positive. Now, when you're in panic mode, it's very difficult to get yourself in the responding mode. The easiest and quickest thing that comes to mind is reaction mode. And so, though you may mean well by telling me that you are going to pray for this or that, or by telling me you are going to do this or that to help me, even though it's coming from a good place, I actually might fail to see it or appreciate it because I'm not in the frame of mind of logic as yet. So what I've found is that when someone is responding to my situation rather than reacting to my situation, in this case, when someone is responding to my cancer diagnosis, they are thinking about it and then considering what they are going to do about it. And then they're also thinking about me using what is called social intelligence. They are observing my behavior, they are observing my demeanor, they are observing my body language, and are keen to understand it before they try to help. Which then when they ask, what can I do to help? It's the best for me. I found it the best way to stop me dead in my track, in my reaction mode, to think about it. What would I like help with? Because a lot of times I go in this mode where I'm thinking in my head, why is she or he not offering to do this or that? Why is she or he not asking me how I feel? Why is she or he not asking what I would like? Because I'm feeling a certain type of way, and I'm thinking and believing that these kinds of things will help me in my microwave mindset, microwave mentality that comes with reaction mode. So when someone says, what can I do to help? I'm like, oh, okay. So yes, this person wants to help, but they don't just want to help me according to what they think is good. They actually want to hear me out. And if somebody offers to hear you out, you are really going to consider what you are saying, what you are talking about, what you are asking for. And you are going to consider what you want them to hear. Because a whole lot of positivity might come from the reaction, from the response that then they will give. So I'm finding that quite encouraging, and it's very few people who've asked me that, but to me it's amounting to almost feeling like everyone is asking me that, because at the end of the day everybody is running around trying to help, doing this or that, and some of the stuff that people are doing and saying, thinking they are helping me, actually leaves me feeling worse than I was feeling about the whole thing, because some of it makes me feel like I'm weak, incapable, and some of it makes me feel like I'm selfish by expecting this or that, which is not really good for me. But then I don't realize that until somebody asks me real down grounded questions like, how can I help you? What can I do to help? What can I pray about for you? What would you like me to pray about for you? Then they are not going to just be praying for strength, because I already am strong. I've already decided I'm going to be as strong as I possibly can, and I'm going to fight. And they're not going to be praying for me to take it easy, to not worry too much, and all these things. I'm actually already in that frame of mind where I'm regulating and trying to reduce my worry and my overthinking. What I actually need praying for or help with is stupid little things that I'm struggling with, like lifting things that I used to be able to lift before, like having time to rest, like not being expected to answer or respond to messages straight away, because sometimes I'm so wasted. I'm just lying there looking at the phone, hearing the sounds that the message is coming in, and yet failing to master the energy to pick up the phone, read the message, and respond to it. And the other thing that I have been asked, actually I'll have to do a separate message for that as it turned out. Please follow, share, and comment.